Hello again. Um, I don't know what just happened, ladies and gentlemen. But we're back. We're back, y'all. We are back somehow, some way. Hopefully, all of y'all who were just joining us on the original stream is back with us. That is the first time
That has ever
ever
happened to us.
that's ever happened to
The
me.
letter of complaint that needs to be sent to StreamYard right now.
Yes, we need all of you to report to StreamYard and be like, what the fuck did y'all do to Tru Heel Heat 255? Because it literally stopped in the
In the middle
middle
of
of
our sentence, and while we were talking, like we were
in
almost
the
done.
yeah, like we were making good time too. What the fuck is going on today?
What we had
I
left
don't know.
over, friend. Like we had that much stuff
We're
left
we're we're
over.
we're, we're in WWE. We're already talking about WWE. I'm trying to give people time to join back with us. We had about like over almost 40 of y'all joining us over on the first stream. But yeah, we got Negro Buck already joining us, and the stream just crashed. It was crazy. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never seen that. I've never seen that on
Like
StreamYard.
literally, like we seen something, then like the thumbs up came up. I'm like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? I was in the middle of a sentence. I literally was in the
Literally
middle of a
was,
sentence.
yeah.
I That was weird.
And I don't even remember what we was talking about now.
We were just coming off of Liv Morgan getting arrested. I know that.
Got it.
Liv Morgan was arrested. We got baby Seth doing his job in the back end, telling all y'all to come on, y'all. Nah, yeah, we need y'all to complain to StreamYard for us because I've never seen anything like that. That was
No.
so weird. We got Belle who says, I think it was the Mary Jane talking. Yeah, Liv was like, everyone, all the weed dealers was like, you know what? They talking too much shit. They talking too much shit about Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan did right by us with the smoking of the tweeds,
Yep.
and y'all motherfuckers are trying to badmouth her. So no to all of y'all. So yeah, this I think this whole thing is gonna totally fuck up our numbers though for
Yeah,
True
for
Heat
the
in for the year because we were almost done for the year of every video going over 1,000. Now I don't know how we're gonna
we're
do
gonna
with
do this.
a podcast split up into.
Great job, guys. Thanks.
Thanks Streamyard.
Oh, maybe because we
Fucked
talked
our
so bad.
streak.
I talked so bad about Florida. Damn.
Yeah, it was Florida man.
Damn. I saw. Oh, god
Florida
damn.
man.
I'm
Florida
sorry.
man. Florida man did it. We're blaming Florida man. Damn. Fucking DeSantis. DeSantis.
Yeah.
Fucking DeSantis.
Damn.
Damn shame. Damn shame. But I see a bunch of y'all are joining us back. Hopefully the rest of everybody will join us as well. I'm gonna share this link with the people. I forgot I gotta do that on Twitter now. Cause you're all fucked. They fucked it. Yes, they fucked it, Josh. He says, fuck it, we're still gonna get 1K each. You heard it here first. Josh is calling it now. He's saying that we're still gonna get 1K for part 1 of Tru Heel Heat 255 and part 2. I hope so. That'd be great because fucking StreamYard. Like seriously, what the fuck was that? Now I have to put on Twitter. We're back. We're back. We're back live. We're back live. I don't know what the fuck happened, but we're back live now. All right. But yeah, Liv Morgan smoking weed. Oh, but we should report that Fightful Select did report earlier this morning that there is no heat on Liv Morgan for the arrest.
It
They
shouldn't
live.
be.
Yeah, Liv, that WWE has not been testing for marijuana, despite it still being on their wellness policy. They don't test for marijuana, so there's no heat on her. They don't have to change any plans because she was out of action. So, yeah.
Right. She's already out of action. She's like injured. Like she's doing her own thing. She's doing her own personal stuff. So
There we go.
it
There
is
we
what it
go.
is.
So it is what it is for Liv Morgan. And yes,
Oh my
Negro
god!
Buck,
Happy birthday,
happy
Brody!
happy heavenly
Happy
birthday to
birthday!
the good brother Brody Lee. Oh man, so sad, still so sad. And it was around this time that we lost him.
It
3 years.
was.
3 years ago. I remember because we did that one. It was at the end of 2020. I remember we did that episode of Tru Heel Heat where we talked about, losing him. Talked about all the great memories that he left with us. So yeah, I just shared it on Twitter. Y'all could share it, retweet it, help us out, get the numbers back up that we were at for this podcast. Fuck you, StreamYard.
Yep.
Another super chat donation. Will Chisholm's like, you know what? I had so many over there. I'm gonna do one over here. He says, making too many jokes about white women will get you kicked off.
You know what? Wow.
When points are made, and that's a valid point to be made.
Damn.
Ron DeSantis did hear us, so we're gonna have to shut the fuck up, Krssi Love.
Yeah, I see. I see
We're
that
gonna have to stop talking the shit we've been doing. But let's get back into the news. We talked about the WWE speed concept, basically a 5-minute time limit point-based matchup. What do you think about that? Do you think that this is going to be like a new show for WWE, or maybe like a new match concept that they do on like Raw and SmackDown in the future?
I really don't care about it. It's sure, great, whatever.
It was like, oh, WWE trying to do pure rules, or
yeah, another type of main event type deal thing. Sure, whatever. Use the people that you don't use on your main shows. You want to just put the lower, the other people on that stuff. Great, that's what you want to do.
Makes sense.
Great job, guys.
And then finally, before we get into Raw, Randy Orton made his return to WWE TV at Survivor Series, and a new report said that there was some consideration of changing up his entrance theme.
What?
Fightful selects Corey Brenner, shouts out to the good brother Corey, who says reports that according to sources within WWE, Orton's theme song was considered for a change from voices, at least the version that has played since he began using it. According to the report, Orton and WWE officials talked about potential changes to the song before Survivor Series. The sources said that it was not the new version of the track from Red Theory and had no music off the top and limited lyrics. Of course, the change did not end up going through, and Orton returned to the well-known version of Voices, which he has continued to use since Survivor Series. Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp was told by sources that it was important that WWE use the original theme for at least the first few appearances back, as it would be instantly familiar to fans.
Okay.
You sound like you are 100% against. You
sound
like you're 100% them not using voices.
No, I want them to use voices.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, but you're against them not using voices.
Yeah. It's the best. I hear voices in my head.
Bring back "Burning My Light."
That's what you want?
Yes.
Okay.
Take what's mine. Hey, nothing you can say. Nothing's gonna take what you done to me.
Doesn't resonate. Sorry.
Now it's time to shine. Gonna take what's mine. That pose in the rain and the gold rain. Come on, gold rain. He was getting golden showers every week.
Oh God,
with that pyro. Come on, Burning My Light. Bring it back.
Gasp.
We got Big Man Dogs. He says, I like the OG Orton song too. 100%. I'm always been a fan of it. We got Benigro Buck who says, I loved Burning My Light. That's the song he had when I first started watching. 100%. Yes. Agree.
Okay, everyone is in agreement of that song. Great job, guys.
Take what's mine. All right. Next we had WWE.
Let's go.
WWE Raw. They did 1.466 million viewers, but everyone was talking about the show's big moment, which was CM Punk deciding to sign with Monday Night Raw in Cleveland, Ohio, the same place he walked out of the company 10 years ago. This led to World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins coming out to confront Punk and call him out for calling WWE his home, despite trying to tear down the company for the past decade. Rollins echoed the same lines from Hangman Adam Page in saying that he will protect WWE from people like CM Punk, before the former AEW star declared himself for the men's Royal Rumble match. Drew McIntyre continued his quest to get another World Heavyweight Championship matchup, going one-on-one with his arch rival Jey Uso. Drew picked up the win by gouging his eyes in a very good opener to the show. Later in the show, Drew was named the number one contender to face Seth Rollins for the world title on day one edition of Raw on January 1st. Then he had a brief interaction with CM Punk backstage. The Miz and DIY defeated Imperium in a very fun trios matchup in Cleveland. And then finally in the main event, Cody Rhodes beat Shinsuke Nakamura via disqualification after Nakamura spit the mist in Cody's eyes before the Creed brothers made the save for Cody to close the show. What did you think about this week's Monday Night Raw? But most importantly, what did you think about Seth Rollins stepping up to the plate and cutting that promo against CM Punk?
Very good. Chills when they were face to face and they came out and talk to each other. I hope no one gave them words. I hope they just did it from themselves to make it more authentic. So I thought it was actually a great time for them. I love the interaction with Punk and Kofi, as someone else, as Nick said too. It was a lot of like different like little gems, like because you see like he couldn't do that over on AEW, really not like as a whole. Probably he could have, but not. They didn't do it. Because he made too many enemies, I guess. But overall, can I just say that we have now made Shinsuke Nakamura a heel that always loses?
Well, yeah, he is that.
He's always on TV. It's great. He always gets to wrestle. Great. You just keep losing. Like Finn Balor. Great. Now you and Finn are like neck and neck.
Neck and neck and being losers?
Yep.
Seems legit. Seems right.
Sad to say, but true.
Seems about right. Yeah. He's a loser.
So, he's a loser.
What, you want me to be nice or something?
I mean, no, let's be regular true heels as we should be and just call out the bullshit when we see it. So yeah, you get to,
you know who else is a loser?
Who?
The guy that's been walking around calling himself main event Jey Uso, but hasn't won a singles match since August. What did I say? What did I say? I like Jey Uso.
I think that is
I actually love Jey Uso, and I think he is.
I thought was going to be up there.
I think that he is 100% over with the fans, but I think that the fans are not being honest and having the honest conversation of why this motherfucker never wins anything.
Can we just first of all just say, like, I feel like if this was the plan to make Jey like the bigger twin, which he already was, during the pandemic. If you all watched the screens in the Thunderdome, we all already knew that he was the better of the two. But now you have solidified it. The one is a loser who kept getting DUIs, and now the other one is just a great wrestler that keeps losing. Bravo, WWE, bravo. You've done well with the bloodline, friends.
I really enjoyed the Seth Rollins and CM Punk segment. I thought that it felt like a WrestleMania, the start of a WrestleMania build.
My God, the package that we're going to get for this, it's so many eggs that have been dropped before we even got to this point, I feel like.
And Seth is a good person to put against Punk because a lot of what Punk says comes off very disingenuous and you can't believe him. So you needed someone that you can believe, feels everything that he's saying. And when Seth says, I hate you and you called me a bootlicker and all this, and I'm going to protect this place, I believed everything Seth Rollins said. All of that to say, I feel like people went a little overboard on praising this segment because I saw someone who said this segment felt bigger than CM Punk and MJF, and it just didn't. It just didn't. It wasn't better than CM Punk and MJF because the big difference between the CM Punk and MJF promo and this promo is CM Punk and MJF threw fireballs at one another from a distance. You're a fake Miz. Your career was ruined by John Cena and Triple H. You're scared to go back to WWE. All that stuff. That was what they said to each other. Yeah. This was CM Punk putting a ball on a tee and saying, Seth, swing for the fence. I'm not gonna throw, or if he is pitching the ball, he was like, I'm gonna throw it underhand. No fastballs, no curves, underhand.
Yep.
Underhand, you can hit this. And I'm not gonna respond. Because he didn't respond. Because if he did respond, Seth would have looked bad. And that's not how you start off this feud. They did the right thing on how they laid this out.
I think it was perfect because it just laid out different things and elements of what we are going to get and what's going to lead us up to Philadelphia. So this is just the first encounter. There's many more that will happen, and I'm just waiting for those things to happen. Let's see what they do. And I think they should let the two guys like be the leads and have very much control over what happens.
So do you think that Punk now wins the Rumble to face Seth at Mania?
Oh, is that what we're going to do? I mean,
it's either going to be Punk winning or Cody winning at this
right.
point. I'd rather Punk. I'd rather Punk than Cody back to back.
Because Cody won last year. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, because we're going to get Roman and Cody, how do we figure out this story, friend? Please tell me.
Well,
like, how
Cody,
do we write
Cody, what they should do is Cody is in what I like to call the Ghost of Roman's Past Elimination Chamber match with Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, Randy Orton, and LA Knight.
Oh, okay. So that's
all the ghosts.
Wait, hold on. No. Solo, Randy, Jimmy, Jay,
LA Knight, and Cody.
And Cody. Oh, I was about to say, wait, someone's missing from the equation. But okay, no, that's actually, you have the 2 that start and you have the 4 in the chambers. Got it.
Yep. That's how I think it's going to go. We got our boy Shay Nasty here with us, joining us over here. And I agree with Shay Nasty, and everybody can say it if you're at home watching. Fuck you, StreamYard.
Yeah, friend.
StreamYard, what are we doing? Been a bitch today. Negro Buck saying, I love Jay, but tell me when Sid is telling lies. The dude has not won since August. It's a fact.
But again, like, we've pushed to separate the twins, right? The other twin, that's a complete shithead, has won more matches and has interfered in more matches than he has. The other one has won matches. Just saying.
We got Negro Buck who said, I'd swap out a Jimmy for Jay, but I like the idea at Sid. I mean, Jimmy has to be involved in this. This is about building to Jay and Jimmy.
Because Jimmy wants to be in charge so badly, where I feel like this is where they messed up with the bloodline story.
I would honestly keep Solo. If you're gonna swap out anybody for anybody, I would take out Solo because Solo doesn't need to lose.
Yeah.
If you can avoid Solo not losing, then don't put Solo in the chamber. Yeah. Jimmy can lose, so he goes in the chamber. Yeah.
Agreed. It makes more sense for Solo just to be in the background and he can help interfere into the match.
Exactly.
Than him being involved in the match. Because that's what he is. He's the enforcer. That's his job.
But speaking of Seth freaking Rollins, there was some big news story on Monday before Raw, or should have been a big news story, but not a lot of people paid attention because I'll tell you why in a minute. WWE will be looking to sign Seth freaking Rollins to a new deal in 2024 when his contract expires. As previously reported, Becky Lynch and Drew McIntyre also have their deals coming up next year, with WWE expected to make offers to retain them. Per Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, WWE and Rollins have yet to start talks to extend it ahead of the contract for the World Heavyweight Champion expiring in June of 2024. It's expected that WWE will make an offer to keep him under contract. Rollins is a respected and well-liked star within WWE, and the report noted that WWE sources said re-signing him would be a priority. A WWE official said, we would not dispute that information in regards to Rollins' contract expiration and his re-signing being our priority for the company. Lynch, the wife and mother of Rollins' child, will also have her deal with the company also expire in June 2024. And several WWE stars were re-signed to deals in 2019 when AEW launched that put them in 5-year deals. It's unclear if that included Rollins or if his contract was already set to be up in 2024. So I think the reason why this didn't become bigger news is because when people saw that the major WWE star whose contract is expiring in 2024 was Seth Rollins, they were like, he's going to resign.
He's not going anywhere. He's true. He's like the Undertaker. He's not going anywhere.
And I'm going to also give him the same argument I gave Tony Khan. You're not doing your due diligence then. You're not doing your due diligence because Seth freaking Rollins, I am your defense attorney. I'm sick of people. I'm sick of what the WWE is doing to him. This man has had to be the number 2, Krssi, to a motherfucker he trained at the job. Imagine you're working at your job for years. You're working so hard. You'll get the big promotion. You made it to the big time. WWE. You've been working your whole life for there. And then they put you in some work study program called The Shield. You got to work with someone else who's been working their ass off to get there. And both of you motherfuckers are just hired to train this other dude whose fucking daddy used to work here. That's all. You're just training him. And then he gets the number 1 spot and you're forced to be number 2 despite you won the world title before him. You were a main eventer before him. You were the top heel before he was the top babyface before him. But he's number 1, you're number 2. He's had to deal with that for a decade. Then last year, some motherfucker who left this company, who was a low-level janitor in this company, wearing face paint, having daddy issues, leaves the company for 6 years, creates his own company, trying to tear us down. And then he comes back and he gets the number 2 spot over me. Me who's been working so hard. And then he's like, all right, I'll take the number 3 spot. I'll be fine at number 3. And then the motherfucker who left a decade ago, who's been talking all this shit, been calling me a bootlicker, been calling me out my name, telling me I'm gonna suck Saudi Arabia bloody dick, and now he's on the flight to Saudi Arabia with me, and he gets my 3rd spot.
So what you're saying is, friend, that he needs to leave.
I want him to leave. If you're going to be top 4, top 5 in a company, I'm sorry. As a wrestling fan, you cannot tell me otherwise that Seth Rollins in the year of 2024, would it not be more interesting to see Seth Rollins being top 5 in a company with Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, who we haven't seen him face in a few years, guys like that he hasn't faced or at all, or he hasn't faced in a long time, or the same motherfuckers he's been facing for a decade: Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. After WrestleMania, I might be done with that matchup. I don't think I need to see that match because I saw that matchup a lot before CM Punk left. Yeah. And CM Punk ain't exactly been better in the ring since he came back. I'm just saying. You can see him face the same motherfuckers he's been facing all his career in WWE, or he could do something new. I think that for Seth's career, if he's ever going to be above the number 2, number 3, number 4 spot, he needs to leave WWE. He's never going to be that in WWE. If his goal in wrestling is to be the best and to be number 1, he's never going to achieve that in WWE. So we got a super chat donation here from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will Chisholm. You always first one to show us love, and we appreciate the support. He says, "Hey Jay, you and Cody can get drunk at the media scrum, but you gotta take some L's, right?" Jet's response: "Sad heat." Jay's response: "Sad heat." I get it. It's only right. I did DUIs and everything. It's only right. Yeah. We got Bell who says Seth isn't going anywhere. This is suspicions. But I think Becky's next contract will be her last, at least full time. So I would think he'd want to be around for that. We also got Negro Bug who says Seth should at least hear TK and other people out, at least try to gain leverage. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, gain the leverage by hearing everybody out.
Yeah, to see get the numbers. Like, say, hey, listen, like this is what I'm getting over here. Do what Bret Hart did.
Yeah. Senior Nerd saying if Seth goes to AEW now, he's 5th, maybe 6th. If Drew and Becky follows him there, I disagree with that. I don't think he would be 5th because everyone that you're probably putting ahead of him is on the last stages of their career. I would put Brian ahead of him, Christian ahead of him. They'll be gone in a couple of years. Copeland, maybe no, he'll be gone in a couple of years. The only people that are active that will be here for 5 years that Rollins will come that can come into AEW and you could say definitively these guys are ahead of him. It's Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Jon Moxley, and Swerve.
Yeah,
that's it. Rollins has already got past Moxley before, so I don't doubt that he can do it again. Omega is out right now, so he's already ahead of him. Now he's up in 3rd. He's at 3rd already. He's already improved what he's at in WWE. He's at 3rd already. Look at that fast. Swerve and Ospreay is his competition for the top spot. So we'll see. I disagree with that though. Nate Milton saying a convincing argument, Sid, but ain't no way Seth Jermaine Rollins is leaving his
Jermaine. I can't
up in that spot with some of them creeps over there. Jalen Rose voice not gonna be able to do that. Do it. Nope, he's not. MJF, yeah, MJF is ahead of him. Yeah,
definitely ahead of him.
MJF, it's MJF, Ospreay, and Swerve. That's his competition.
So not even his former teammate Mox.
So he's 4. He would be in the top 4, but those are much more interesting guys for him to be in the top 4 with than Roman, who I've seen him face him ad nauseum. I'm good. I don't need to see it again. I've seen 3 times of Cody and Seth last year. I don't need to see it again. There's only Punk. It's only Punk I want to see him face in the top 4 with him.
That's the only one that he's never won against.
Well, he's gone against him too. That's what I said. After the first time, I think I'm good after that too. After one time, I think I'm good. I just need once. RPGs is saying he's not going anywhere because it's looking like AEW might not have a TV show soon. Don't wish that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that, Skip. Senior Nerd, I need whatever drugs you're taking to make you believe that Orange Cassidy would be ahead of Seth Rollins in this. Because, like, sorry, the booking since All Out says he's not. Says he's definitely not. He's a mid-carder. He's the top of the mid-card, but he's a mid-carder based on the way they booked him in 2024. You have to have some of the strongest mind-altering drugs to make you believe that Orange Cassidy is ahead of Seth Rollins. Like ever. Senior Nerd said, oh hell, what if AEW signs Okada? Then Seth has a problem. Then you made a point. But speaking of Seth and Punk segment, Seth Rollins and CM Punk did not have a producer listed for their Raw promo. Fightful Select reports that none of Punk's segments have had producers yet for that reason. The report makes it clear that this doesn't mean that there isn't creative involved in segments without producer, nor does it mean that they aren't slotted for specific amounts of time. The producer rundowns do not list writers who are, of course, generally involved in the creative of segments in addition to producers when there is physicality. There are exceptions to segments that don't have physicalities having producers, such as the Becky Lynch Nia Jax promo from this past Monday. But the site reports that they were told that at certain points in the planning stages, there may have been physicality involved in the booking, but also involving CM Punk. PW Insider reports that Punk merchandise has reportedly been selling incredibly well since returning to WWE last month at Survivor Series. According to the report, on Punk's first night back in the company. He sold over 6 figures in physical t-shirt sales overnight, and there is said to be the most lucrative evening for Punk's merchandise sales since his return. The sales figure is also reportedly a nearly unheard of number for a returning wrestler. Punk is no stranger to making merchandise sales records. He did the same when he returned to wrestling for AEW last year. So Punk making difference across the board, even in NXT, Miss Krssi Love, which brings us over to NXT Deadline from last Saturday. The show was featured CM Punk making a surprise appearance to chat with Shawn Michaels about the possibility of joining the NXT brand. Ilya Dragunov also was on the show in the main event, defeating Baron Corbin in a very good main event matchup to retain the NXT championship. Blair Davenport beat Fallon Henley, Tiffany Stratton, Kalani Jordan, and Lash Legend in a great Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Post-match, Lyra Valkyria came out to confront the new number one contender, but she was attacked from behind by the returning Cora Jade. Carmelo Hayes beat Lexis King. Post-match, King revealed he did not, in fact, attack Trick Williams. But speaking of Williams, he was the star of the night on this show as Trick Williams defeated Braun Breaker, Dijak, Josh Briggs, and Tyler Bate in a tremendous Iron Survivor Challenge. That was one of the best underdog come from behind stories told in wrestling in a long, long time. Then you had NXT this week. The show featured Carmelo Hayes being mysteriously attacked backstage off camera to start the show. It was later revealed by Mello that he now believes Ilya Dragunov was the man who attacked him and Trick Williams. This led to Mello trying to take the NXT championship from Dragunov and accidentally nailing Trick with it. So further development in the whole Mello Trick Williams storyline this week. What did you think about that development and Trick Williams winning the Iron Survivor Challenge, which I called Tracy McGrady scored in 13 points in 33 seconds because he got 5 wins in a minute.
In a minute. Yeah. I feel like we've seen this before, but hey, because then they just like slingshot him and let him like win a whole bunch of stuff, and then they was like, let's take it away from him really quickly. So let's see what happens.
Well, to be fair, he was the replacement for Mustafa Ali for that.
Okay.
This actually seems like this is his story.
Okay. Sure. Let's see what happens. And he won that whole thing too when he was the replacement.
Yeah, because he was just because Mustafa Ali was supposed to win the North American title.
He was.
Yeah.
But,
so
okay.
we just filled in him with the replacement, and then we went back to what we were going to do. That's what we were going to do.
This was nothing.
Move on. Move on. Let's be happy about the here and the now instead of being mad about what happened before.
Okay, fine. Whatever. Overall, great, solid men's event. Like you said, he won like in the last 10 minutes of that whole, he was nowhere to be found. And then all of a sudden he was like, Trick is just doing everything. Great. Good job. Great main event. We're looking at Baron Corbin be a great loser too, but it's still successful and strong. Anything else you asked me? What else you asked me?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, NXT this week, they did 678,000 viewers. They started the breakout tournament this week as well. Lexis King attacked one of the participants to enter.
Oh, yeah. And he was being a big crybaby and started attacking one, so to make himself be put into this whole tournament. Great job. Yeah. And
it feels like Lexis King is they're the 2023 version of Rikishi being revealed as Austin running down, and them saying Lexis King did not attack Trick when it was very clearly obvious by the video that he did.
Right.
It makes me believe that they just decided to go with Mello now because that Lexis King shit didn't work.
But it was clearly him. But now you want to put it on Mello. What are we doing here, man?
Because Mello was talking guilty as fuck during that last segment.
He really did.
I was like, bro, you don't even have a good reason to be blaming Dragunov, and you're blaming Dragunov. I was like, yo, that nigga guilty.
Yep, it sounded like you very, very guilty.
But when you gotta make up reasons for people to attack, nah. And then the doctor said your knee was all right too. It was just This ain't looking too good for Mello right now.
Nope. Mm-mm.
We got another big one this time. Super chat donation from the Santa himself, Will Chisholm. He says Okada comes, insert will be backed up, and for some reason Tony Khan loves Sammy Guevara, so it will be a battle for that spot, Seth. And then Becky will be like, "I'm not going there with one woman's match."
Well, she probably could change the dynamics of the women. I mean,
that's they need someone like a Becky Lynch.
They need someone strong over there. That's why we wanted Mercedes, but
fumbled that bag. Fumbled that bag, man. How could you? How could you? We got Big Man Dog saying Punk has been going around taking pictures with all the NXT ladies, and the reason is he's been around NXT a lot this week.
He's been at the center. He's been at the he's getting right. I guess he's been training, and
now he wants to work with children. Following his appearance at Deadline, Fightful Select reports that CM Punk was backstage at Tuesday's show. The report notes that he's been hanging out at the Capitol Wrestling Center over the course of the day and has been giving talent feedback on matches during the evening.
Like a dad.
PW Insider then reported that the recently returned CM Punk was back at the Performance Center early on Wednesday in Orlando, Florida. Punk was there training and working with NXT talent, and PW Insider notes that there was a massive amount of genuine excitement at the Performance Center on Tuesday when Punk made a surprise appearance and spent the evening with talent. Fightful Select reports that Punk flew to the Performance Center after being on Raw on Monday, making an appearance that he was not under obligation to do so. According to those that the outlet spoke to, Punk showed up and spent most of the day there despite not being planned for the evening show. And Punk was backstage throughout the day and was talking with talent and giving feedback on matches and hanging out with them in the PC's lounge. Punk was reportedly willing to help anyone who asked him, and the outlet's the Fightful's Corey Brenner was told that Punk was observing things from around the facility, including a gorilla behind the hard camera area and with the tech crew. Shawn Michaels was a vocal supporter of the notion that Punk would be welcome back in NXT, and according to those close to Punk, he didn't take that endorsement lightly. WWE sources have indicated that Punk is welcome at the PC whenever he wants. Everyone at the PC said that Punk was a joy to deal with, and there was a lot of excitement regarding him being there. The site also notes that wrestle purist Ibu, who has really good sources close to Punk, reported that Punk's long-term goal would be to succeed Shawn Michaels as the head of NXT when Michaels eventually exits the role.
I know Phil lying. I know
Fightful heard from WWE officials that any such notion would not happen for a long time, as there were no plans for HBK to end his time with NXT in the foreseeable future.
Damn, Phil.
What would you think about CM Punk, the head of NXT?
I don't see it.
Not at all? Not ever?
Give him 10 years, maybe. Maybe he needs to grow and mature and like get his life together and like take account for his responsibilities. But yeah, you want to run the children?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know about that, friend. Go have a seat.
One Bill Phil. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Can't make it up at all. But yes, we gotta speed through the rest of this. But we'll talk more about CM Punk trying to take over NXT.
I mean, do you think he'll take it over eventually?
I mean, they're gonna need somebody, like Big Man Dog says. Maybe Shawn Michaels gets promoted to the main roster after his work in NXT. You never know.
Okay.
I don't see CM Punk as the right person for that job, but
see, okay, there's your answer.
The job might be open. That's all I'm saying. The job might be open. I don't know if CM Punk is the right person for that job. Okay. New Japan Pro Wrestling had World Tag League final last Sunday. The show featured Bishamon defeating El Fantasmo and Hikuleo in an excellent main event to win the NJPW World Tag League 2023 tournament. Post-match, Bishamon challenged GOD to a title versus title match at Wrestle Kingdom 18. Meanwhile, LIJ beat Just 5 Guys in a fun 10-man tag. Post-match, the group accepted Zendokan Jr. into the LIJ group. Kashika Okada and Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Gates of Agony in a good tag team bout as well on the show. But the big news from New Japan this week is that New Japan Pro Wrestling, Stardom, and 7 other promotions, including All Japan Pro Wrestling, DDT Pro, Pro Wrestling Nola, Cambray's Pro Wrestling, Big Japan Pro Wrestling, Dragon Gate, and Tokyo Joshi Pro have joined up in the United Japan Pro Wrestling Alliance.
Wow.
And the NJPW will hold their first joint event on May 6, 2024 at the Nippon Budokan. So a huge show with 9 different promotions coming together. Really seems like they are kind of taking the MO of AEW, who's dealing with all these promotions and making their own super American promotion. Now they're doing it in Japan. I like it. Smart move. And speaking of New Japan news, they announced the new title that will be determined at Wrestle Kingdom. New Japan announced this week that the IWGP US Heavyweight title will become the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship at New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 18. The match of Will Ospreay versus Jon Moxley versus David Finlay will crown the inaugural champion, and the belt will not continue the lineage of the US belt and will be instead replacing it. Ospreay was the U.S. champion before renaming it the UK title until both of his belts were destroyed by David Finlay. So we will see who will become the first ever IWGP Global Champion coming up at Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th. But the final thing we missed was Impact Wrestling Final Resolution from last Saturday. The show featured Josh Alexander and Zack Sabre Jr. defeating the Motor City Machine Guns in a terrific tag team technical wrestling main event. Speedball Mike Bailey and the debuting Trent Seven beat the Rascals in a very good tag team bout. Trinity and Jordan Grace beat Giselle Shaw and Deanna Purrazzo in a good tag team bout. Meanwhile, the ABC defeated Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers in a pretty good matchup to retain the Impact World Tag Team titles. But a lot of big news from Impact Wrestling this week as they made some big signings after his debut match at Final Resolution. Scott D'Amore came out to give Trent Seven a contract to sign with TNA. He talked about that signing and he said, "We've been speaking for a few weeks, just kind of piecing things together and making sure everything worked out. A lot of times in the entertainment industry is about being in the right place at the right time, doing the right stuff, looking the right way. There are a lot of things that have linked up for these kind of things to happen, and that's what it was. It was the right place, right time, right decision, 1,010 things evolving and continuously evolving. Luckily, we got to deliver the fans with a real professional wrestling exciting secret." So Trent Seven with TNA, but he's not the only one, as on Wednesday, TNA Wrestling has announced that Kushida has signed a deal with the company after already making several appearances for Impact. He talked about the signing on Battleground podcast, where he confirmed he will still be working with New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. And then on Thursday, TNA Wrestling announced that Eddie Edwards has re-signed a new deal with the company and will remain for the foreseeable future. His contract expired in February, but the new contract came together over the last few weeks, and talks began when Impact was in Mexico earlier this month. And then finally, El Hijo del Vikingo, who has been making several appearances for AEW, of course, is the AAA Mega Champion. He will make his return to Impact Wrestling and be at TNA Hard to Kill. He will be competing on that show as well as the Snake Eyes event, the TV taping the next day. He last appeared on the November 26th edition of Impact on Access TV, where he teamed with the Motor City Machine Guns to face Los Vipers and Trey Miguel. And his match for Hard to Kill has already been announced. It will be Chris Sabin defending the X Division Championship against the newly signed Kushida and Vikingo. That should be fucking fantastic. That's going to be great. That's going to be a bunch of fun at Hard to Kill.
Bunch of high flying joints.
And then the TV tape in the night after Snake Eyes, we'll see Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay appear, and Okada in his first TNA matchup in a decade will team with the Motor City Machine Guns to verse Moose, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Myers. Meanwhile, Will Ospreay will go one-on-one with Josh Alexander in a rematch of their epic encounter back on Impact on Access TV earlier this year. So some really big stuff from TNA Impact Wrestling this week. Shouts out to all of our friends over at TNA and Impact Wrestling, and check out our interview with TNA World Tag Team Champion Chris Bay that is up right now. But Krssi Love, it is time for your favorite time of the show, match of the week. Give our 3 to 5 best matches that we saw in the past week that you need to watch and need to go out of your way to see. Once again, I'm not prepared because this has been a crazy episode where we had to split it into 2 sides, so I didn't have time to figure out who is my match of the week. I'm going to go in reverse. I'm going to switch everything up. I'm not giving honorable mentions. I'm starting from number 1 and then working my way down instead of the opposite way. My number 1 this week, Blackpool Combat Club versus Mark Briscoe and FTR. So much emotion, a bloody war, that fight without honor last night at ROH Final Battle. That is my match of the week, number 1 this week. Number 2, I'm going to go with Andrade versus Bryan Danielson from Collision last Saturday. Just a brutal, hard-hitting bout. Number 3 for me, I'm going to go with GOD versus... No, number 3, I'm going to go with Billy Starks versus Athena from Final Battle last night. Just a great, epic showdown. Number 4, I'll go with GOD versus Bishamon from the World Tag League Final. And number 5 for me, Trick Williams becoming Tracy McGrady in the Iron Survivor match. That was great. Krssi Love, the floor is yours.
So I have 3 this week. So I'm going to go reverse. Your number 5 is my number 3. Shout out to Trick for winning that. Number 2 would be I will give it to Andrade and Brody Lee. Mm-hmm. And then number 1 would be Athena versus Billy. That was the only thing I said. I just watched it online right before we did this show because I didn't see.
You said Brody Lee or Brody King?
Brody King. Sorry, my bad. Brody Lee is not. Oh, sorry, Brody. Just Brody right now. Okay. Yeah. My number 1 is going to be Athena and
Billy Starks.
Billy Starks from last night's show. That's the only one. I have to watch the pay-per-view, but I went back and I made it a point to go see that because I knew the girls would kill it. And because I really wanted to see that match out of the whole thing because we didn't really have like a lead up to this whole show. But yeah, I definitely wanted to see because I knew that they were going to kill it. So I just made sure I watched that before I got on our show today. And rightfully so, I'm happy I did because it was a banger of a match. And they closed out the show too. So good for them. Absolutely. So that's it, friends.
We got Christopher Kidd. It says, hey, my wrestling family, coming in late, but he's dropping us with his matches of the week. He says BCC versus FTR Briscoes, Brody versus Andrade, Swerve versus Mox. Swerve versus Mox would definitely be an honorable mention for me.
Yes, Swerve. Okay, so that's number 4 for me. So damn, I could get number 5. Damn. Andrade. No, wait, no. I said Andrade already, right?
Did you see Andrade and Bryan?
Yes, that was from last week. Okay, So there we go. Friday. I mean
Saturday.
Saturday. Last week Saturday. Okay, so there's 5 right there. Perfect. Andrade got 2 spots.
There you go. Andrade killing the game. Christopher Kidd saying Athena versus Billy was fire. We also got Santo who says, what's up, the great SP3 and the majestic Krssi Love and the rest of the Tru Heel Heat family. Thanks for showing up, Santo. But we are at the end of our show. We have made it to the end. What a mess. Check out both parts of the Tru Heel Heat.
Yeah, we had 2 podcast. Shows, right?
2 parts because StreamYard is some bitches. Miss Krssi Love, let the people know where they can follow you on social media and what you got going on.
So friends, hey, happy holidays and everything and all that good stuff to you and all that jazz. Have fun and be merry and nice. But other than that, you can find me on IG, Twitter, and on Facebook as Krssi Love _1. Twitter or X is called Tru Heel Krssi Love. Other than that, just my plain old name. You can follow me on our flagship show, which is Tru Heel Heat, every Saturday. I usually will fill in if you call me or you ask me to be on your show. So just hit me up, and if I'm available, I will be there or be squared. Other than that, that's it. Southern Face and Hill should be back next week, though. Yes.
Should be. So definitely go out of your way to check out all of that. Check out all the great stuff we got on the channel as well. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. You can follow the gang Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Tru Heel Heat. Patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month. You get exclusive content, the Tru Heel Heat Prediction Championship, plus much, much more. And maybe I'll ask Romeo to put both podcasts together. So our Patreon backers can at least watch the whole entire thing in full. And podcast listeners can also listen to it all in full because our great producer. Thank you, producer. And follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Tru Heel Heat, ProWrestlingTees.com/Tru Heels, as well as ForYourWear.com/Tru-Heel-Heat. Check out all the great content on the channel right now, like our Chris Bay interview. Check out AE Ramble from Thursday. Check out Rated Raw review from Tuesday. Check out all of that. Have a great time. Have a great weekend. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. StreamYard, get your shit together. For Krssi Love, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 255. One Bill Phil's Revenge. We are signing off until next time.
Laters.